All right, Algebra 2, here we go. We are in section 2 today of chapter 8, and this is all about multiplying and dividing rational expressions, also known as everything in this section is review, okay? Now, I'm going to treat it as such, all right? Look at the notes. Key things to remember. Everything is review. It has been covered. This really goes back to Algebra 1 stuff. Okay, so I'm going to treat this section like that. All right, we don't want to waste a lot of time with it. We don't want you guys to forget things. So that is why I've labeled all the things you have to remember, and everything right down here also gives you info that you know. Okay, so I'm doing this a little bit different in this video because this is so much review. All right, all the example problems that I'm about ready to show you have already been worked out. I'm going to guide you through them kind of quickly, and then we're going to call it a day. All right, so this is a lot of review, much easier than stuff that you just finished in terms of exponentials and logarithmics, all that. Okay, so this should be a very nice section. There you go. There's your note page, everything you have to know, all the stuff that if you don't, you need to review, because this whole chapter bases your ability to do everything in this section quickly. And then we build off of this into much bigger stuff. Okay, so let's do it. Here we go. Example problems all worked out. Okay, so first example problem, this is what we're given. What you're going to want to do is imagine that we got a little separation here. What is 16 divided by 8? It's 2. Then remember, when you have the same base value, that's both of these guys are x, and then you have an exponent and you're using division, how do you treat the exponents? Use subtraction. 11 minus 2, boom, there's 9. All right, so again, separate it. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Same base, both are x. Subtract and get 9. That's what we're looking at there. Okay. Let's move into second example problem. All right, factoring. I like factoring. Get used to it. Get comfortable with it because you do a lot of it in this chapter. Okay, so here's what we're given right up here. Polynomial or trinomial over trinomial. Okay, and we have to factor it. So immediately you are going to have your double set of parentheses. Put that out there. The first term is 6. Break that down into a 3 and a 2. All right, the next thing to notice is that we have plus sign, plus sign. That's what you're going to have in here, plus sign, plus sign. Then look at the third term, the 2. You're going to break this up into its only factors, which are 2 and 1. And it is, sorry, it is important in their location. Why is it important? Because you are trying to create the positive 7 right there. All right, and how do we do that? 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is going to be giving us a 4. 3 times 1 is going to be giving us a 3. And 4 plus 3 is what's going to give us the 7. And that's what we got. Okay, take the bottom trinomial, break it down. 3 and 2 came from 6. When your signs are minus and minus, in the parentheses, it will go plus, minus. All right. Then you have a 6 as your third term, and you have a couple options. We could use 2 and 3, or we could use 1 and 6. Always start with the options that are closest together. So I started with 2 and 3, and those were the correct options. But now you have to remember placement is important. All right, positive 2 make 4. Positive 3, negative 3 make a negative 9. Negative 9 plus 4 makes a negative 5. And that is what I want, the negative 5. Now comes the fun part. Find the binomials that are identical, top to bottom. They get to disappear. These guys are gone. So this is what you're left with. All right, let's move on. Third example problem. First step for the top is we got to get that negative sign out. Okay, so I noticed that both of these terms share x. Again, both of these terms share x, but I got to get that negative sign out of there. So I will be factoring out a negative x. Factor out negative x, and what do you have left over? X minus 3. Negative sign is gone. One of those x's is left over. That x disappears, just leaving the 3. Okay? But you got to understand that sign, see how it changed to a negative down here? Why did it do that? Because I took a negative out of both of them. That is a step that a lot of students will miss. Another way to think of this is you are taking everything up here and dividing it by a negative x. That will take it out, but it will also change the sign on both of these guys. Okay, so we do that. This is the numerator we're dealing with. Factor this trinomial. 2 breaks down into 2 and 1. Minus sign, plus sign. If that is the order, minus sign, plus sign. In the parentheses goes minus, minus. All right? Then you're looking at a 3, which being a prime number could only be 1 or 3. So put the 1 here, put the 3 here. Let's double check it. That is going to make negative 1. And then 2 and negative 3 going to make negative 6. Negative 6 minus 1 is going to be a negative 7. That's what we want right there. Okay. These guys cross each other out. They are identical. Find the binomials that match. That's the best part. Cross them out. They're gone. This is what you're dealing with. That's what's left over. All right, what's circled in green there. Okay, next one. A little bit bigger. Steps don't change. All right. These guys share something. A 10. So take the 10 out. That's how I factored that out. Take the 10 out. X is left over. 40 divided by 10, a 4 is left over. Signs don't change because I didn't take out any negatives. I just took out the regular number. Okay. Then trinomial, factor it. That's what we got down here. X with X came here. Again, minus plus is minus minus in the parentheses. Factors of 8 that can make 6. 4 and 2 make 6. All right. X plus 3 can't go anywhere. Keep it. X plus 3. We will deal with it in just a sec. These guys both share a 5. Take the 5 out of both parts. That's how this 5 got right here. What's left over? Just an X. And then 15, when you take the 5 out, becomes a 3. Now look at the whole picture. All right. X minus 4s match up. Perfect. X plus 3s match up. Get them out. Also pay attention here. Top to bottom can reduce even at an angle. Okay. 5 goes into itself. It's gone. 5 goes into 10, drops down to a 2. Look to the left. This is all you had left in that whole problem because of so many things that crossed out. All right, let's move into example problem number 5. Okay, step 1 is you're going to actually want to KFC this whole thing, right? Keep it, flip it, and take this and change it to multiplication. Remember that, KFC, keep, flip, change, as long as they gave you division to start with. Okay, so do that at the beginning. Take care of that and turn it into a multiplication problem. Then proceed and start to simplify. Okay. Trinomial right here, factor it right down here. All right, you should start to see this process. The new type that I want to focus on here is this guy right there, x squared minus 9. That is a perfect square binomial. How do I know this? Because x squared is perfect, 9 is perfect, and the final piece, it must be subtraction. X squared makes x, 9 makes 3, must be subtraction, and then it works out just like this right here. It'll be x minus 3, x plus 3. Okay, now look to this. All right, this guy, remember, it was brought down to the bottom. This is also a perfect square binomial. How do I know this? Go through all the steps. Square root of 4, 2, square root of x squared, x, square root of 1, 1. All of them work out perfectly. And the final piece, it must be subtraction. All right, take a look. This is what I'm talking about. 2x and 1, and the signs will be opposite because a positive times a negative makes a negative. That's why. Okay, then I wanted to show you one thing here. This trinomial could be slightly simplified before you factor it, because you could take a 4 out of every one of these terms. So 8 divided by 4 was 2. 28 divided by 4 was 7. And 12 divided by 4 was 3. Now I have a 4 on the outside, and I have a trinomial that I now have to factor. So this right here was me factoring this trinomial here. And that 4 on the outside is that 4 right there. Okay, now take a look at the whole picture. Don't forget, you can reduce at an angle. What I mean by that is x minus 3, x minus 3. See how they're at an angle there? Going cross is totally fine as long as you have top to bottom. All right, so x minus 3, that's gone. 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1, that is gone. Now keep looking at the rest of it. Going down here, let's simplify it. We had 2x, 2x minus 1s. They disappear, all right? 2x minus 1s. I didn't cross them out here for whatever reason, but I simplified it a little further down here. 2x minus 1s. Okay, they disappear. And there we go. So that is what your final answer is looking like for that problem right there. Okay? All right. Let's take a look at this last one here. Another perfect square binomial. All right, you guys got to be able to see this and find this because you're going to get a lot of these throughout this chapter. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 9 is 3, and it is subtraction. All the boxes get checked. Okay, so this factors in to these guys right here. The 2x plus 3 is still there on the bottom. The 5 is still there. 2x plus 3's cross each other out. All you're going to be left with is just a simple linear statement. 2x minus 3 equals 5. Go through the basic algebra. Take care of the 3. 5 and 3 make 8. We're going to take care of dividing by a 2, getting down to the final piece that x equals 4. All right, guys. That's what I got for you. I'm going to zoom out so you can go ahead and see. This is the second page of example problems 5 and 6. This is the first page of example problems 1 through 4. All right, that's what I got for you. Section 2 today of chapter 8. Ask questions. Review the videos. If part of the video went too fast or didn't make sense, go back, rewatch it. Make sure you ask questions if you got them. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.